Welcome back to the Transfer Show Christmas special. We'll be talking all things Bundesliga with Max in just a moment. But first, to our interview with the first £100 million player in British football. This is Kaveh Solhekol with Jack Grealish.
2021 has been such a great year for you. How would you sum it up? What has it been like for you?
It's been different. Obviously, I was injured, for a lot of it at the start. So, when I actually think of like my goals and my assists from this year, I haven't probably got as many as I'd want personally. Because obviously been injured for so long at the start of the year, then having a bit of a dry patch towards the end of it. So in that sense, it's been, a bit different to what I expected. But obviously, making the move here, and obviously throughout the whole summer with England, it was a special year. I feel like I've done okay. I know there's so much more for me to give, and so much more to contribute, on the pitch with goals and assists. Obviously, I scored scored the goal, the other night, which was a long time coming. A bit of a different one as well in my head. I ain't scored many headers. So yeah, obviously, I know for a fact that I've still got so much more to give. But this was something that was so much more difficult than I actually thought it was going to be. But I'm still learning. I'm still adapting to the players here, to the manager. And I think I've seen a few stuff, about certain players when they've come to City, that it's took a year or so for them to get used to it. So hopefully, that's the same with me. But going into the new year, I want to step up my game and get more goals, more assists, and contribute more. The standard here is just so high, like every single day. Like you've said, you can just mention so many different players. And it's just, it's crazy, the standards just around the place, not just in training, even off the training pitch, just in and around the building, it's unbelievable, and it's no coincidence as to why they've been so successful as a team over the past few years. When you're going through a dry patch, which obviously I was, in the past few months, it's difficult then because everyone's going, hold on, we've bought him for this much, like where's his goals, where's his assist? I try not to think about that too much, as I think you can get caught up in that at times. And I just try and enjoy myself. I see myself as a little bit of a off the cuff type of player, and that's what I was like, when I was a young kid. So there's definitely similarities there. I've just got to try and see it as a privilege, really, the fact that this club, wanted to spend that much money on me, and I hope I can repay them with goals, assists, and trophies. I've said that in my interviews at the start, that I come here, to try and win trophies. I think at the end of your career, that's what you look at. You look at how many medals you have, and obviously losing out on it in the summer with England, it's just made me want that even more now.
Growing up, were you the kind of kid who always looked forward to Christmas? What kind of presents did you want? Was it always football related?
Yeah, I absolutely love Christmas, mate. Growing up, my family just made it so magical for me. My mum and my dad just made it so magical for me and my brothers and sisters. And yeah, I think when your family do that for you, it makes you grow up and just love it even more. Could name you countless football presents that I've had off my family, growing up. But yeah, my favourite ever present, I reckon, was a bike, a BMX that my dad got for me. It was just obviously unbelievable, and something that I really wanted at the time. So yeah, I've always loved Christmas. Whether it be football kits or football boots or goal posts, everything was to do with football. And whether that be birthdays or Christmas or whatever it was just always to do with football. And yeah, it was something that I obviously absolutely loved. I used to enjoy it so much, and my dad he'd never put pressure on me to keep wanting to perform. If I didn't have a good game or had a bad day, he'd never put pressure on me. He always wanted to make sure that I was enjoying myself, which I think is so important. You know, I think sometimes nowadays, you know, a lot of parents put maybe a bit too much pressure on their children, you know, to try and perform every single day. Like I said, you know, when I was a kid, I just used to enjoy myself and go out there. And now I look back on it, and they were, you know, the best times of my life. You know, when I was growing up, with just not one bit of pressure on you whatsoever. And there were really special moments like now when I look back. I always thought that I could become a footballer. You know, when you're young, you don't really think, if I can become one. You just think, I want to become one, and that's all you strive for, really. You know, I'd come home from school, I'd be straight in my back garden. Before I went to school, I'd be in my back garden playing football. So yeah, it was just something that I just loved to do. You know, when I was a kid, I just used to absolutely love it. And then maybe when I was about 14 or 15, I started playing for the Aston Villa under-18s. And then I played for the reserve team, I think, when I was 16. And obviously was on the bench for the first team when I was 16 as well. So I think around that period is where I thought, you know, I have a real good chance of making it as a professional footballer. I'd just obviously like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. You know, I'll be enjoying myself with my family at home, not eating too much because obviously the game tomorrow. But yeah, no, I just want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. I hope you all have a lovely day with your family and enjoy it as much as you can, because that's what Christmas is all about.
So let's talk Jack Grealish, £100 million from Aston Villa to Manchester City. How did that go down in Italy and in Germany?
Yeah, it was a spectacular transfer in Germany. Everybody thought that Harry Kane would join Manchester City, and then they spent £100 million on Jack Grealish. So it came as a surprise, because in Germany, all the experts and transfer experts, we as well, we thought they need a striker, a number 9, to replace Aguero. And then they went for Grealish, like a player, a really good player, but for a position where they might have other options and similar players, you know. So it came as a surprise. He was well known for the guys and girls who watch the Premier League, okay, but Grealish was not a big name in Germany. So it was a big surprise, the transfer, yeah.
Oh, for us too, even if we were concentrated to Lukaku, because Lukaku was Manchester City, Chelsea for the same money, but we couldn't expect that this guy could be sold for this money.
Do you think somebody like Grealish, a lot of people have compared him to Paul Gascoigne, for instance. Do you think he's got something about him? There's some sort of star quality. He's a very sort of compelling character. You know, people want to see him. People want to watch him. He's got something special.
When I was in Wembley to see, for us, an incredible match, but all the people wanted him. Super Grealish, Super Grealish, Super Grealish. I remember all these fans screaming for him, for Maguire. I remember Maguire's song, but everybody was looking for him to play. So he enters in the hearts of people.
He even made it to German tabloids. Yeah, he was compared to David Beckham, you know, because of the looks, and he's a star player. You know, he's like a star potential, not on the pitch, you know, but off the pitch.
I must just ask you now. Look, we talked about Jack Grealish, £100 million. Max, this is directed at you. I know we've touched on it. We've touched on Erling Haaland. He'll probably cost a lot more than £100 million unless someone gets him in the summer and gets that release clause. But the total cost could go way beyond that. What are we expecting in the Bundesliga, and how excited are you about the forthcoming year? Because there could be, unfortunately for you, quite a few outgoings, couldn't there?
Of course, it's the case every summer in the Bundesliga. We talk about young players maybe leaving the league. We got used to it in the recent years, and of course, Haaland, it would be a big surprise if he stayed one more year. As I said earlier, Dortmund is really trying hard to convince him to stay one more year, but I think the chances are 90%. He leaves, 10% he stays. But he's such an amazing player, tall, fast, strong, clinical in front of the goal. You know, he has everything. So I think there are a couple of options for him next summer, and I think it's really likely that he'll
So just one thing, are we talking 2021 Jadon Sancho, 2022 Erling Haaland, 2023 Jude Bellingham?
Yeah, possible because I think Jude will stay one more year. In
They
the
want
Bundesliga.
Bellingham in Premier League. You
Yeah, of course.
understand?
Look,
They
we
want
take him
to
from
do the deal with you.
we take him from Birmingham. We make him a world-class player, and then those guys step in and say, where he's going, to Man United or to Man City?
But I want to ask you about Haaland. You know his agent, Mino Raiola.
Yes.
What do you think Mino is thinking at the moment? Is he thinking
To
it's
make
going
money.
to be another great
To make
Christmas?
money, to make money.
Everybody wants my players again.
Mino is a fox, and he found the right way when he decided to go to Borussia Dortmund with the exit clause, with the percentage for the family. He is able to see in the future.
Big picture.
Yes, he understood that Borussia Dortmund in that moment was the perfect club for him to improve and then to go. Because in other clubs, probably they could have now create problems to sell him. While I think there is a deal with Borussia Dortmund, there is an exit clause.
Where do you think he'll go, Haaland? If you had to.
But I think Paris Saint-Germain will try to get him because Mbappé will go to Real Madrid. And so they need a striker, no? They need a number 9, and they want the best players in the world and in Europe. So I think they will try. And Mino Raiola and Paris Saint-Germain, they have a good relationship. Donnarumma and other players. So I think they can try. But I know Real Madrid want to do Mbappé and all.
What is really important for Haaland and for Raiola and for his father is the development point of view. So they want to do the right next step. That was always the case, and they went to Salzburg, and then they could have gone to the Premier League already, to Manchester United,
Chelsea too,
Chelsea, yes. But he went to Borussia Dortmund because he said that's where I can develop the best. And even in the next step, Erling will look where is the best next step for me in order to play, in order to perform. Best market for me.
For his development.
Yeah, for his development, and that's why Borussia Dortmund is trying to keep him, to convince him. The best development is to stay one more year at Dortmund. If it's really possible, we will see. But that's really important for Haaland and his family.
I think Erling Haaland will be the one to look out for in 2022. Still plenty to come on the Transfer Show Christmas special. We'll be wrapping up any other business, which includes the likes of Antonio Rudiger and Paul Pogba. Stay with us.